Hi, this video we will be talking about frog pose and tadpole pose in yin yoga. So these poses are both deep inner groin and inner thigh openers. So we're really working with this set of muscles in our inner thighs known as the adductors, creating space in the front of the hip. And depending on how you approach the pose as well, there may be some compression, some stimulation to the area of the lumbar spine, the area of the kidneys. It can be a very intense pose for a lot of people, so it's really important that you prop it right and you come to your appropriate edge. So as always with yin yoga, encouraging you to come to about your 60% capacity of your range of motion, and then allowing time and gravity and conscious breathing and awareness to unravel you and draw you deeper into the pose, as opposed to pushing and striving in a yang-like way to reach some kind of end goal that really doesn't exist. There is no end goal. Knees can be an issue with frog pose. They can get quite sensitive as we're essentially on our knees for often 5-minute holds. So padding can be a really nice thing to do for your knees here. So let's begin to have a little look at our options. I am going to pad my knees. So I'm going to take this blanket out and fold it up. And you might want to use your mat lengthways as well. So tadpole pose, or wide-kneed child pose is another way to name it, is basically taking your knees as wide apart as it feels right for you to begin to gently open up the target area that I was just talking about, and then coming forward. Now, when you come forward, you may want to come forward onto a bolster or onto some rolled up cushions, some blocks. Something for your head can feel quite nice. So there's quite a different sensation having your head the same height as your hips to letting it drop lower. So I'm beginning to get this gentle stimulation here in my inner thighs, inner groin. For other people, it might not be gentle at all. It might be quite strong. So the height of the props can make a difference on the intensity of this inner thigh and groin stretch. If you come lower down in the pose, you might feel, as opposed to the spread of the stretch being more even along the spine, you might feel it a little bit more lower back centric, so sort of from the area to the kidneys down. We're really opening up, decompressing our sacrum at the end of our spine here. We're giving it lots of space as well there. So this, from a meridian perspective, we're really targeting the liver meridian and the kidney meridian running through the inner thighs there, and the kidney meridian sort of picks up at the base of the spine and runs internally up into the organs of the kidneys themselves. We're also working a little bit with the urinary bladder meridian that runs along the length of our spine. So if you can just come onto your elbows as well as another way to do it, or take a prop for your head. So maybe you're feeling okay with this space beneath you, and even this space beneath you might allow you to kind of drop a bit more into this little bit of a back bend and this compression in the sacrolumbar arch, if that's something that you feel your body is going to benefit from today. If you feel okay here, then you can begin to approach frog pose. So with frog pose, we take our feet out either side of us, and we kind of start to create these frog legs. Now, what a lot of people tend to do here is they tend to come right the way forward. And this isn't necessarily targeting the areas that we want to be targeting. Generally, if you keep your hips a little bit more back in line with your knees, you're going to continue to stimulate that stretch in the inner groin. area that we're looking to achieve through this pose. So allow your knees to slide a little bit deeper here if you want to. Your legs can come out as far as they want into the frog's legs. And again, a bolster or whatever form of props you want to use will take both the pressure off your shoulders and the back bend out of the stretch, and just keep it really centered in that inner thigh and groin area. But you may be looking for that stimulation by dropping the belly forward and coming into this little bit more of a back bend there. So again, if that's what you're looking for, then maybe just a prop for your head or not at all might be what works for you. You can even kind of let your belly drop all the way to the ground, prop your head, whatever way works for you with your elbows. And then when we're coming out of the pose, you bring your feet together, and I would slowly work your hips back towards your heels. You can even pause here for a little stretch through the lower back. And then lightly push into your hands, bring your knees slowly together. And I would just take a moment or two here, stretching out in child's pose. Coming out of your shoulders if you've been using your forearms or your elbows to support you. And then when you're ready, coming up out of the pose, maybe taking a moment or two in a seated rebound, and maybe coming all the way back to your back for a full rebound in Shavasana. So frog pose and tadpole pose. Thank you for watching this video. Namaste, bye bye.